Hey, it's your favorite DJ.
It's your favorite DJ. It's your favorite DJ. It's your favorite DJ. Your favorite DJ. Coach DJ. And look. Got special guests for y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Come see what I got in store. Jab step, y'all. Jumping across barriers. This is for hoopers only.
This is for the shooters and the hoopers who can give it all. This is for the lockdown D who gon' steal the ball. This ain't for the throw your hands up looking for the goal. This is for the players who can ball and spit some balls. This is for the shooters and the hoopers who can give it all. This is for the lockdown D who gon' steal the ball. This ain't for the throw your hands up looking for the goal. This is for the players who can ball and spit some balls. For hoopers only.
All right, so For Hoopers Only is a platform where we introduce entertainers that have a basketball background.
Got it.
Right? So people that follow entertainers that, you know, love what they do, the craft that they bring, but had no idea that they had a skill.
That's real.
That pretty much probably cultivated the person that they are today.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
For hoopers only.
Growing up, like, what would you say, who was the player that you modeled your game after? Like, I'm gonna dress like him, I'm gonna move like him. Like, who would you say you wanted to play like?
I wanted to play like Bron, cause that was the main person that I thought was dominant from everybody. Well, in my era, cause I ain't really get to see Jordan. Yeah, I said LeBron, but when Kyrie came into the league, I started fucking Kyrie more.
Yeah.
With Kyrie was point guard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was what I was playing at the time. He had to handle sick, jump shot. So Kyrie really overall.
So you lost your mother, and then you lose your grandmother. Is this 11th and 12th grade year, or is this all 12th grade?
11th and 12th.
11th grade and
11th
12th
going
grade.
into 12th.
You find out you lost your grandmother on a game day. I want to hear about that game because I heard you killed that game.
The Westminster game, I know we ain't talking about. My grandma passed the Westminster game. That was crazy. We won that game too. But I don't know, man. It's just I was hurt, but it was like basketball is what made me feel whole. So it was like I had to play. It's the only thing gonna keep my mind like calm and be able to, I guess, sober up because I was crying that whole day. But when I got to the game, it was just like I wasn't trying to talk. I wasn't trying to be friendly or fucking around with nobody. I was there to play and go home. So when I got on the court, it was just action. Like everything just felt easy. Shots, driving, passing. Like I think I had like a triple-double that game. I had like 20-something.
Yep.
Crazy pass. I threw a oop to Rick and everything. Like we turned up that game. I don't know what it was, bro. I think she was just in the air.
Yeah.
Like she was just in the building, bro.
Yeah.
For hoopers only.
And all the people that, you know you from, standing on somebody's couch and popping champagne and, you know what I'm saying, all of that. They don't know, the type of work ethic you have,
right,
and where you got it from.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just curious if the game of basketball had anything to do with your courage to step out there in that way.
Definitely, man. Basketball, and I used this when I was playing and when I was coaching. Basketball, the principles of it has a lot to do with the principles of life. All right. With basketball, you can get out here in the game when them bright lights come on. If you're not ready, if you didn't practice and prepare yourself, if you're not ready, then you're not going to be ready come game time. And it's the same thing with life. If you're not out here preparing yourself, education when you're younger, listening to the big homies, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to be ready when it's go time, when it's your time to be in position to make moves. So, just preparation. Yeah. Preparation with basketball, any kind of sport is the same with life. You got to prepare yourself if you plan on tackling the obstacle at hand. And I mean, it's simple as that.
For hoopers only.
What's that? So you done did this basketball. Is there any words of inspiration you can offer to any aspiring student athletes? Like maybe some that got cut, you know what I'm saying, last season, or some that may be fighting off injury or struggling with their grades? Just like, is there anything you could tell a student athlete that can help them get over the hump?
Keep going. If you quit, you ain't gonna never know where you could have been in life. You feel what I'm saying? So tough times never last. Tough people do. Just gotta keep going. It's a lot of the world in a crazy space right now. You feel me? So let's always remember that. Keep going and know there's somebody depending on you besides yourself. So just keep going.
Word up, word up, word up. All right, big guy, let's get back to this work right here, man. Look, we're gonna put together a couple of double moves, man.
For hoopers only.
The nightlife and basketball, the hoop life, if at any time they bumped heads, like did a long night affect an early practice?
It's gonna sound cliche, but no, because yet again, and just for everybody watching, like, this is not the normal standards of how coaches and players go about things. It was just, I was in a very special predicament.
Yeah.
So, like, my long nights of hosting, mind you, we practice 6-7 days a week, but I didn't drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to Warner Robins every day.
Right.
I probably went up for practice once a week.
Yeah.
So, but my coach had that understanding, and I love Bobby Brown to death.
Yeah.
Like, did everything possible to make sure it worked for me and the team. And even outside of that, like when I did go to that practice once or twice a week, I made sure I overperformed everybody.
Yeah.
So there could never be an issue. Oh, he only get to come to practice once or twice.
Yeah.
We got to come here every day.
Yeah.
But even when the games came, like, I still did my part and more. So it wasn't ever an issue. And then my teammates understood, like, we were all super close. So, like, we all, like, talked. And mind you, everybody that played with us the first year and won the championship was literally on the team the second year almost. Maybe we added like 3-4 more people. So everybody already knew the circumstances. And then what made it even better was they would come from Warner Robins to come to the parties I'm hosting up here.
Yeah.
So, like, it was just it was literally a family. And then my freshman year at Warner Robins, me and, like, we all stayed near each other. Like, my apartment, and I had 2 of the basketball teammate roommates, Myron and Marquise, and then, like, we were all near each other. Everybody else on the team was almost from Warner Robins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything just played as well. Everything was perfect. But as far as that aspect, like, it's not usually like that. So I really didn't have any long nights that affected hosting or that affected my play because, like, I didn't really have to practice.
Yeah.
And that was a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
For hoopers only.
I want you to talk to the people about how basketball gave you the tools to be successful to where you are today.
I work on very, very complex deals, but the idea is that, like, when you don't get something, you don't quit, because I didn't quit in basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I figured it out, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I always think about some of the hardest practices that I had and how I still got up the next day and came back.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with work, right? Like, you know, you don't understand something, you got a boss that's frustrating you. Like, I had coaches that I felt like we just weren't on the same page. Like, but bosses want you to do good work so that they look good.
That's right.
Coaches want you to do good work so that they look good.
That's right.
It's a mindset, right? So having that will to kind of persevere and get better and continue to challenge myself and have that, like, I'm not going to quit and I'm not going to let you get the best of me mentality, it's kind of how I've been able to sustain, you know what I'm saying, being at this level working in New York City.
Indeed, which makes you a hooper. That same mentality, that same work ethic is what made you a hooper, turns around and gives you the advantages, you know, in the industry that I would imagine is super competitive.
For hoopers only.